Welcome to this tutorial on the Movie Maker in Huygens. This tool is available for Huygens Essential and Professional. With the Movie Maker in Huygens you can easily create sophisticated animations of multi-channel 3D images using the powerful Huygens Visualization renderers. In the Huygens software, in this case Professional and Night Theme mode, we open and select the image we want to create an animation of, right-click on the image, and go to View, and select Movie Maker to open the Movie Maker.
Now the Movie Maker window will pop up. In this user interface there are three areas: the storyboard. This film strip shows the main elements of the movie, which are the keyframes and the transitions between them. The preview area. This mini movie player quickly creates a low-resolution version of the final movie. The timeline. This interactive plot shows how render parameters change over time. The first thing you should do to create an animation is to create a keyframe. A keyframe defines a control point within a transition. To add a keyframe, one of the renderers in Huygens should be launched from the Movie Maker window. You can either use the SFP, MIP or Surface renderer to create a keyframe. We will use the Surface renderer for now.
In the Huygens Surface renderer you can define a scene that you would like to use as starting point for your animation by dragging the image and changing the settings. We now are going to change some of the settings, like adding the second channel to the scene. We select channel 1 in the secondary tab, and change the threshold. You could for example remove the bounding box in the options menu. Once you are happy with the scene you click to Add Keyframe button to create the keyframe. Now you can see the keyframe 0 has been added to the storyboard. A movie needs at least 2 keyframes from the same renderer to set the start and end point of a transition. So we add a second keyframe from the Surface renderer.
In the Surface renderer we now change the scene to create a second keyframe. These are just some example and you can edit the scene the way you like. We zoom in, and tilt, and twist, and change the threshold of the channel. After adjusting the view of the object and if satisfactory we press the Add Keyframe button.
The storyboard will now shows 2 keyframes with an arrow in between. This arrow indicates the transition from one keyframe to another. You can add keyframes from different renderers to a single movie, however a transition can only be made between keyframes from the same renderer. The automatically created transition between the 2 keyframes can be changed by double-clicking the arrow. In the transition settings you can adjust the duration and the transition settings. At default all the transitions are smooth and the duration is 24 frames. But you can change the transitions to something else like a linear transition. For now we leave the transitions on smooth and change the duration to 72 frames. Once we click accept you can now see the transition is 72 frames in the storyboard and timeline.
It is also possible to edit the keyframes. You can rearrange the keyframes by using the Cut, Copy, Delete, Edit and Paste buttons in the top menu bar. You can also edit a specific keyframe by double-clicking the keyframe in the storyboard. The selected keyframe will open in the renderer and can then be edited. For example, we were not satisfied by the threshold of channel 1 in the first keyframe and we want to adjust it. Once you made the adjustments in the renderer, click on the Add Keyframe button. A pop-up window appears asking whether you would like to replace the keyframe or create a new one before or after the selected keyframe. We replace the keyframe in this case.
Now frame 0 has been changed. In the timeline area you can view all the different transitions, like now the twist transition is displayed. You can also edit the keyframes by dragging the green squares up and down to create more or less twists in the transition. You can do this for all the different parameters by selecting the one you need in the drop-down menu below the timeline area.
If you are curious to see how the animation will look like, you can use the preview area to quickly see the results. Press the play button and see the results right away. Underneath the preview you can adjust the frame rate as well as animation settings with the buttons. If you complete your movie and you are satisfied with the preview, you can click the record button in the top menu to start exporting the movie.
In the animation setting you can adjust the quality, frame rate and resolution. For example, We changed the resolution to the 16:10 aspect ratio because this matches our monitor. If all the settings are correct, click Accept and choose where you want to save the movie and name it.
Now the movie is being rendered and you see the progress being made by the software.
After all the frames are rendered, the movie is made and you can find it at your save location. Of course, you can also save your frames and transitions for later by using the Save button in the top bar. Let's now have a look at the simple movie we just made. In the simple short video we just made, you can see that the object twists and zooms in smoothly. You can also see the effect of raising the threshold of channel 1.
Of course, you can also make longer and more sophisticated movies with the Movie Maker, as well as you can see in this movie, showing an isolated red epitaside couplet recorded by Dr. Primson Morbid. This movie combines different renderings, slicing of the 3D stack in different tilt, twist and zoom transitions. The movies are exported in AVI format, and therefore you can easily embed them in your presentations, for example. You can also make movie with the different renderers, like this example made with the SFP renderer, as you can see in this movie, showing of a cell cluster recorded by Dr. Nicholas Fade.
This was the tutorial on the Movie Maker in Huygens. For more information on how to use each visualization option, please consult the specific tutorial. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us.